This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about the next day, though. Boy, what a busy December. Again, to recap, December 1st, you're in Monroe, Louisiana doing TV. The next day on the 2nd, you're in Miami doing TV. And on the 3rd, well, you're in Atlanta doing TV. Now, this is notable, not because you and Tully beat up Gary Royal and the Italian Stallion, but because it's Jim Ross's debut as a host. And Jim Ross has finally found his opportunity to be a part of the big time. Now, that's not to say that what he did with Watts was irrelevant. That's not the case. But now he's on the big program on WTBS. And that was December 5th, 1987. And man, he never left. All these years later in 2022, he's back on TBS. What'd you think of Jim Ross joining the show? Obviously it's a pivot. You've been around some great broadcasters. You spent a little time working with Gordon Soley, spent a lot of time working with Tony Schiavone, obviously a lot of time with David Crockett, but now you get a flavor for Jim Ross. Back then, what did you think of Jim?
Very professional, very learned, very astute in knowing everyone's background. And he was somebody new and fresh. I grew up, I don't think JR will get mad at me for saying this, or Tony will, I grew up on Gordon Soley. Gordon Soley was just like the Omni was my holy grail. Gordon Soley was the voice of wrestling. Then Tony Schiavone became that voice. Now JR is stepping in. He's new, he's fresh, had a different style. And I just went, wow, where's this guy been? And the answer was he had been working for Bill Watts. JR actually asked me in the locker room, this past week, he said, Double A, do you remember me back when you very first started? When I started as Marty Lundy, before I was ever Arn Anderson, when I very first started, JR was doing the commentary, partially on that show.
Wow.
And I didn't remember. I remember Boyd Pierce being one of the voices, but I didn't remember JR. That's on me. That's from getting dropped on my head, but we kind of had that conversation. But JR is very, very good at what he does. People take him for granted because he is so good.
It's such a storied career, man.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.